Binghamton University basketball. The Colonials will need a new point guard for the coming season. Last year's starter, Owego's Paul Morrissey, has moved on to Cortland State to school this year. I spoke with him this evening. The Red Dragon basketball office tells me today that Morrissey will most likely be playing hoops for Cortland next year. Last year at BU, he started all 24 games, averaged over 7 points per game, and led the team with 3.2 assists per game. And here's a date for you and Morrissey to keep in mind. Cortland State at Binghamton, January 16th. Here we go. The Sports Team 40 Dream Team has had some pretty big guys on the roster so far. Now, basketball is known as a game for the big and strong, but what about those smaller guys who make things happen on the floor? The fourth member of our Dream Team is one of those spark plug players. Here's Sports Team 40's Russ Nelligan to introduce us to Owego's Paul Morrissey.
Some people seem like they were made just to play basketball. Their size almost assures all-star status. And then there are those whose size forces them to practically live on the court to achieve success. Our fourth member of the Dream Team falls into the latter category. At 5 foot 9.5 inches, Owego Free Academy guard Paul Morrissey has always worked extra hard to prove that taller doesn't always mean better.
For the taller guys, of course, it's a lot easier, you know. People say, if you're 6'2", 6'3", you'd be up there already, but that makes you work a little bit harder, because there's nothing more satisfying than doing something that people say that you can't do.
This season, Paul proved beyond a doubt that he can do it. He led the stack with 521 total points and averaged close to 22 points a game. He made 55 three-pointers, that's 52% from outside the arc, and was far and away the most productive on the line, hitting 132 free throws. How do you defend against a player like that?
We didn't. You couldn't defend against. He was quick. Took the ball to the hole real well, and if you gave him an inch, he'd stick the three-pointer. And so I haven't had a lot of respect for the way he played.
Now, you might not know it, but Paul's coach, Tom Morrissey, is also his father. It might seem like a pretty good arrangement, but according to Paul, it's made him have to work all the more.
Regardless of how good anybody is, there's people that are going to say that, he's only playing, so you have to prove it a little bit. Anything that you do, any bad night that you have, somebody's going to say that, so you just have to come back next night twice as hard.
I have to take sort of a stand-back kind of a role also, I have to make sure that he can play and we're not favoring him over somebody else, and he's probably gone the other way, that he's had to prove himself even more than somebody else because we didn't want any criticism.
It's hard to imagine that Paul could get any criticism after a season like that. Russ Nelligan, Sports Team 40, Owego.
Okay, so Paul Morrissey, the playmaker from Owego, puts his name up on the Dream Team board. That last basketball will be filled up tomorrow with the last member of this year's team, and then the Dream Team will be complete. The Binghamton Rangers are having a dream season in their first year here in town. Let's hear from one of the voters.
This team, we could probably take to the States and we'd probably win it at any level, probably at that point. But you talk about, a round team, and you talk about role players. Yeah. And you look at Paul Morrissey being able to handle the ball, and the quick guard and the point guard is natural. Robbie Baxter being the shooting guard who can be off and play that number 2 position. Then you sit down and talk about Wilcox, who can play.
Number 22 picked up by Chucky Martinez defensively. Morrissey inside down the lane. Shot is good. He has a lot of moves, doesn't he?
He is slick down in the paint area, and he uses it. He's got 4 points on 2 nice drives to the hole.
Has a very nice low dribble, and he controls it real well. It's tough to take it away from him. Back the other way, Chucky Morrissey played at Hartwick as a freshman. Now working the ball across the court. Picked up by Spisto defensively. Morrissey pulls up. Shot is good from 16 feet. He drilled it.
He just sort of disposed of Spisto along the way with a nice beneath the legs dribble and stuck the jump shot. Nice move. Smooth player, that Paul Morrissey.
Nice job shooting over the smaller defender. Now it's 34-30. The lead is 4. Broome Tech has led all the way in this half. Morrissey again pulls up. His shot is good from 14 feet this time. He's a tough matchup.
Ball thrown away by 6'1", a little bit more of an imposing defensive force.
Now Martinez called for a foul against Morrissey.
And the one thing now that Morrissey will use against Martinez that he couldn't against Spisto is his speed and his elusiveness and his ability to create moves and such to get himself open. So that Morrissey creates a challenge defensively for a player. What is he going to do? Is he going to beat you off the dribble? Is he going to hit the outside shot against you? guy's got a lot of answers to a lot of tough questions.
First shot no good. Morrissey gets another underway. Shot is good. It's closed an 8-point deficit down to 2. Again, Morrissey inside. Open shot is good. Nice little 8-foot baseline jumper from Nick.
Better off to trying to have got that back out to the perimeter and reset the offense.
Chucky Martinez turns it over. Here's Morrissey ahead of the field. Morrissey reverse layup. It falls. Oh, what a nice reverse layup that was by Morrissey.
And a nice steal by Tex Boino. He just stole the ball. Bino, rather. He just stole the...
One of their Twin Tower effect now. Good. Morrissey down the lane. Morrissey explodes to the basket and scored.
And this one is
17. Totally surprised the defense that trip.
This one has gone wide open, as you said. Morrissey that time, he had both Matthijs and Eames back defensively. Neither player turned to him, and he just took it right down into the lane.
Spisto.
James, what's happening right now? Broom just running the clock, getting all the bounces.
Morrissey inside left hand scores. Just a slashing move inside, and again a basket. So Paul Morrissey with 21. It's 78-66.